Hello and welcome back. This time I'm going to finish the truck for good. Finish the exhaust. Well, start the exhaust, get it to where I can put mufflers on it for the exhaust test, drive it, tune it, and, well, finish it up. Now, you remember I recall talking about the collectors last time, or the reducers. Well, when I finally cut one of the strip bolts off, here's a flange. Here's a reducer. Now, if you can see this, it is rotted out and no good anyway. So it's a good thing I stopped where I was, took it apart and looked at it. So I got some new reducers. We're going to get those put on. I'm also going to take a jack and try to get the exhaust going straight instead of down. Okay, so found some collectors here just laying around finally. And what I'm going to do is weld them straight to the pipe, just straight, bolt them on, and I bend it up where I need it to a little bit. Now I did already start the truck and let it run for a little bit, and use a jack on the collector and try to bring it up as much as I could while they were warm. Helped a little bit, but not enough. I'm going to need more leverage, so I'm going to have to get the pipe on there and go from there. Now I want y'all to check this out. It's not touching the jack, but that's it. That's straight bolted on. That's kind of snugged them up a little bit. But you can see the thing's pointed down, and I don't like that. So I'm going to try to actually bend it in place where it should be. And of course, as you can see, I'm trying to bend the collector a little bit more. Of course, once I let go, it's gonna go back a little bit, but I'm trying to get it better than what it was, and so far it is, slowly but surely. This is kind of a pain on some of these. I don't know if it's because it's truck headers. Sometimes I've had them do it, but I'm trying to see what I can do here. Get the weight of the vehicle to do what it needs to do, and hopefully work it and get it a little bit better. I ordered quite a bit of tubing for this truck, and yeah, the weld ain't perfect. You know, I guess they chromed this, or they got something on it, and I should have ground it off before I started welding, but oh well. It ain't gotta be perfect. This is kind of more of a shitbox style truck anyway. So I got the H part on this one in here, and I cut off enough that I definitely could use this pipe again on the other side, which I will. Actually a little bit better, but I can use a little bit of work, as you can see. I actually got the H pipe lined up. Gonna put a little stitch, couple little stitches. Take it completely out so I can weld it all the way around solid. Make sure I seal it completely up. And then I got some pipes that go straight back to where the mufflers are gonna go. Now I've bled it the best I can. I got the exhaust ready to right about here. And I'm gonna try to tune it and test it, see what happens. The Blake breeding didn't go too well. Something's worn out, not sure yet. It still stops, so should be enough to at least do the exhaust test and tune it. So I guess we'll see what happens. So a little sputtering, a little too rich, so I got to tighten up the secondaries on the carburetor, and a little bit at a time. Wasn't too bad actually. I didn't realize I left that long of a black mark on the road. I can see it from here after I got out of the truck. Don't know if it caught on camera, but it looked pretty good. Man, I don't know. 30, 40 footer. Not bad considering I hesitated, but tighten the carburetor up and see what happens. Okay, I thought it was gonna be simple, but it's turned out to be quite a job. That screw was stuck, which unfortunately, it shouldn't have been stuck when it was rebuilt and everything should have been checked. So I've been having trouble with the carburetor since I got it back, and I've been adjusting it myself. That was stuck, so if it doesn't run the best, please don't think it's the Quadrajet's fault. I'm gonna have to find a new place to rebuild carburetors. So like I said, I can rebuild a carburetor, but when it comes to those bushings for the butterflies, if you don't get those perfectly straight, then they're gonna hang up and you're gonna have a mess. So since I'm not comfortable doing that, don't have a setup, I can't do it right now. So hopefully I can get this thing adjusted. In case you didn't know, that back here, there's actually a adjuster screw, use a little pocket screwdriver to tighten and loosen the secondaries on the Quadrajet. So now unfortunately it's the only way I could fix it right. I had to take the carburetor off. You can see the adjuster screw is right in there. I got it loose now. Of course the spring is off this little rod here. So I'm going to take a pair of needle nose, pull the spring up around, and get it back there where it should be. Alright, that was a whole ordeal. Had to take the spring completely back out, rewind it up, and quite a bit tighter than what it was, but let's see what happens. Hesitation, but I'm close. Alright, so I went about a quarter turn. See what happens. Well, more like an eighth turn, honestly. First, I've actually got to move it around and check it and let it get up to temp. So a little bit of transmission fluid. The second burn off from my desktop wasn't as good, but I don't care if it's got a better burnout if it hesitates. One thing got the hesitation, so a little bit tighter and I think I'm good. Just a little bit tighter, a little bit of transmission fluid. Hopefully it goes well. I think I can take a little hair out of it. Not much. Loosen up a hair. I think that's going to be the best it can do. It just doesn't really have a whole lot of power, and it could just be that, unfortunately, like the last two quad jets I had rebuilt from the same person, they're just not up to par. I'm having trouble actually setting idle air. It's kind of funny because when you turn it all the way in, the idle air screws, it should die. It doesn't. So, and that's the way they've all been from them. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with a new rebuilder. If I need that par rebuilt anyway, or just buy a new one, or rebuild one from Summit, I guess. But, adjust it a little bit, and then get ready to do the mufflers. Alright, now what you can see here is I got it tucked up. Of course, use the jack method. And now I got my hangers here holding it up. Now they were a little tight, but it is what it is. Now right now, since I'm doing my exhaust muffler test, see that's clamped up right now, it's just turned down right here. Now eventually, once I'm probably gonna run the Cherry Bomb turbos on here permanently. So once I get those welded on, I will move the turn down further out this way and run one more hanger somewhere, hopefully. But right now, this should work just for the exhaust test. Flowmaster Super 10. Well, it's late and it's done. I was expecting to take that long, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Now, it don't seem to be doing that bad. It actually just right off the throttle did pretty good. And seems like it's still a little off. I can't get it just where I want, but also I may have, 5 5-10 minutes total in trying to tune it. So I could use some more time. Now obviously this one will never, it's not going to be up to par to where my daily is. I got a lot more money in the daily, a lot better parts. My quadrijet was actually truly flow bench tested and all that good stuff, and actually done 100% correct, and it's been one heck of a carburetor. This one probably, let's be honest, be rebuilt again. But also, I don't think it's just the carburetor. Carburetor may be fine. The kickdown's not. It has an overdrive bracket on it, so the kickdown's not exactly adjusted right, and I just kind of got it rigged up too, so that's not helping. It's a few things, but you know what? Still a fun truck. Still good. Still got decent power, I guess. But considering I don't know the specs on this 350, I don't know what cams in it. I don't know what heads. I don't know what board. For all I know is that it's just a very, very mild lift and duration cam, and it's never really going to make that much power. I don't know. Maybe it's all low end, and that's all it has. Depending on the cam that's in it, I don't know. So I think it's doing pretty good. And considering, remember, this is a budget build. One thing we're going to talk about now is the budget. $4,250 is the total I have in everything. And I mean every single dime I spent on this, including having the title work, you know, sending the title off to be put in my name, wheels, tires, gas that I've used, the gas that's in it, the cleaning supplies. Every single dime I spent on this is about $4,250. I rounded it up a little bit. Now it will be $4,300 once I replace some of the lights that are out and such like that. So maybe a little bit more, but I kept it under $5,000. Now back several years ago, I could have done this way cheaper, but let's be real here, it's not that way anymore. So, and remember, that also includes the price of buying the truck, having it towed home on the rollback that I had come pick it up. Every single dime spent again. But yeah, it's pretty good for a budget build. It shifts fine. Brakes are not the greatest. But here is the biggest part about this. When you have a project vehicle, if it's not running, you really don't want to fix anything. It goes for a lot of people. A lot of people are like that. At least something like this, it's not the prettiest. It's not the fastest. It doesn't handle the best. It doesn't stop the best. But the thing is, if you can get in it and drive it, you're going to fix everything else. That's how it is. If it's not running and driving, it's sitting in the back, well, man, I need to drop this much money on it and this much money on it. And that's where a lot of people fail in their projects. That's why something like this, budget build, is really good. And this could be someone's really good project. I mean, it has potential now. It runs and drives so someone could drive it, fix it exactly how they want, because it's, I won't say completely a clean slate, but it's a good enough, it's a good enough project to start with. You could really go in any direction now. So it runs and drives. You could be building another engine transmission while you can still drive it. You can fix the suspension, everything. So the biggest part is it runs and drives. Sounds alright too. I went with the Cherry Bomb turbos because, well, let's be honest, I've had them a while. They're not my best exhaust muffler video, so I kind of wanted to get rid of some. I sold some recently to drop down my inventory, but I was like, I'll keep a few to put on some vehicles as I'm doing them. I don't have to order again. But yeah. So, budget build is done. And say it didn't turn out as bad. That bad at all. So, I hope you enjoyed the series on it. And as always, thanks for watching.